Ashley, Shaquille Wharton and Shaquille Wharton secured a victory for our leaders Deacons over Avengers as the Barbados Hockey Federation's Men's 7 Super League continued at the UWI AstroTurf last night. The final score was 6-4, with Deacons moving to 19 points. That's 3 ahead of the idle second place Empire Club. Meanwhile, in the other game of the doubleheader, Combermere School Old Scholars had no competition as they stomped over YMCA to win by a 13-goal margin. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke reports on that game.
It was a goal fest that started in just the 3rd minute of play. Combermere School Old Scholars on the cards thanks to Kyle Brathwaite. The very next minute, YMCA responded as Corey Wiggins beat the defender and keeper to slot home. But you can say this started an onslaught by the Combermereans. Les Trotman collects the cross and makes it good. The very next play, Brathwaite makes it a stylish goal. A minute later, he was on the break down the right, and surely enough, he finished the play accurately. With 3 players in the D, one must convert, and it was Siobhan Goddard with the last touch. All hands were on deck, and the main aim was goals and more goals. Trotman sliding that in. Siobhan Goddard did not want to be left out. Easy does it. Combermere 7-1 at the end of the first period. Into the second, and Kofi Hines would continue the charge from the left of the bars. He then switched it up, this time right in front of the keeper's face. Combermere were really making a mess of YMCA. Goddard got his hat-trick in the 20th minute of play, before Brathwaite joined him with 3 goals of his own. This flick made it 11-1. Brathwaite, not settled on 3, would add 2 more for the Beaver. The close-range goal, and then he collected the cross and tactically angled it in. He ended with 5 goals for the night. YMCA tried to salvage some pride, Dario Lewis giving them a 2nd goal, and then right through the defense, Mario Moore added another. But that just fueled the fire as Kofi Hines made it goal number 14 for the Waterford Old Boys. And then James Gooding, who was setting up most of the plays for the night, rewarded himself with not 1 but 2 goals as Combermere School Old Scholars demolished YMCA 16-3. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
After going into the final as the favorites, Barbados had to settle for the silver medal at the Caribbean Zonal Volleyball Association Under-19 Boys Championship. The defending champs went down in straight sets to the hosts, Jamaica, last night, 25-22, 25-23, 25-16. The Bajans were undefeated prior to the finals, but suffered a major meltdown in the final. Haiti took 3rd place in the 4-team tournament after beating Trinidad and Tobago in 4 sets, 25-13, 24-26, 25-21, 25-15. The much-anticipated Summer Rally Sun and Stars was held over the weekend with drivers tackling 12 stages. And the favorites, Jeffrey Panton and Mike Fennell Jr. in their Ford Focus WRC 06, were the winners in a time of 38 minutes, 39.53 seconds. The Jamaican pair won by just under 1 minute, heading home ahead of Dane Skeet and Tyler Mahey, making their 4-wheel drive debut in Roger Skeet's Subaru Impreza WRC S12. Roger Skeet, incidentally, is Dane Skeet's father. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke was at the popular Hangman's Hill stage for some of the early action.
It was a test of precision and speed as an obstacle-configured Vaucluse Raceway formed part of the Hangman's Hill stage for this year's Summer Rally of Sun and Stars. And it was the historic cars who tackled the lengthened, twisting and turning course first with a heavy English representation. And Darren Moon, who hit the stage as car number 1, was the highest ranked overseas competitor. After stage 3, his time was 9 minutes 24.41 seconds. He was 2nd in that class. But it was local driver Andrew Jonesy Jones who put his drifting weights behind him to run the clock, and he led the historic class at this stage with a time of 9 minutes 21.75 seconds. He was 10th overall. But from the time Roger the Ninja Hill hit the course, it was cars coming at you fast and furious as the big dogs went to it. Some usual shareholders were in the mix. The Mears brothers, Roger and Barry, Mark Thompson and Kurt Ciabra. And yes, that's the Sheriff Roger Skeet's Subaru Impreza WRC 12, but he had it in the capable hands of his son Dane, with Tyler Mayhew seated right next to him. But the top 4 were shaping up, After 3 stages, Hill was actually in 4th. His navigator was Graham Gittins. Their time, 8 minutes 58.29 seconds. Rhett Watson and James Hutchison had full control of the BMW M3 to be 3rd with a time of 8 minutes 53.52. Gunning in the Toyota Starlet was Neil Armstrong and Barry Ward. The little mean machine was on point, 8 minutes 53.55 seconds. But leading them, the man who has been claiming the Barbadian Rose as his own, the Ford Focus WRC, is simply put, just unstoppable. Jeffrey Panton and Mike Fennell, right out of Kingston, Jamaica, they had a time of 8 minutes 39.09 seconds. The summer rally of sun and stars, 12 stages, 39 cars from day to night, and it was loads of action. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Now the basketball title challengers UWI Blackbirds notched up another win in the BABA Women's Premier League. St. John Sonics were their latest victims at the Wildy Gym. CBC's Shane Jones reports.
Blackbirds in their gold and black taking on Sonics. Nikita President throwing it up and getting it in. Sonics in transition now. Chantal Husband's basket and the foul. Blackbirds moving the ball well. Ashita Hines open. Sweet. On the break, President, 2 of her game-high 18 points. Yui in control, but that didn't mean Sonics totally out of it. Laurel Brown with the long 2. Tiffany Husbands from the corner now. Boom. Yui with the rebound and on the break. Hang on. Wait, where's the defense? Really? Well, take your bucket. Dish to Keisha Corbin. Tight angle. Money. Tiffany Thorpe sees an opening through the lane and gets it to drop. Blackbirds dominant throughout, winning easily 53-30.
Practice makes perfect. That was the general message to young cricketers during the closing ceremony of Camp Get Ahead. The words of encouragement were made by several speakers, among them West Indies cricketer Jason Holder.
I hope that what you have learned at the camp you would take on board, especially what the coaches would have taught you over the period of time, right? And I'm sure that once you take what I've said on board, y'all would improve in your skills.
Quite naturally, you're active young gentlemen, and coupled with that, it is important to have good nutrition, and that is the agenda of our company, to promote good nutrition among our children. So we were proud to be a sponsor. We look forward to lend our support in the future, and once again, congratulations from Pediasure.
Just want to urge you guys to continue to work hard. Obviously, the sponsors have just talked about good nutrition. You know, it's very important to being a professional athlete. So I just want to endorse that as well, and just hopefully you guys can take away a lot that you have learned over these past few weeks here in this camp and just portray it into your everyday lives.
The camp ended with a ceremony to recognize the efforts put in by the young cricketers over the past 6 weeks. Special awards went to Kobe Williams, who was the best bowler and the best fielder. Rahul Ramnarine was named the best batsman, Joshua Hicks the best wicketkeeper, while Nathan Seeley was the best all-rounder. Keegan Morris was the most improved player and Joel Wooding the most disciplined. Other mementos were presented to some of the camp's youngest participants. Well, I'll be back at 8:30 with more sports, especially with highlights from bodybuilding over the weekend and England beating Australia yet again, all during CBC Sports. But up next, the business report.